FPL Double Gaming 25 team selection. What is up, everyone? How's it going? FPL Era here, and welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. The Merseyside derby has just come to an end with some magic from Moisey at the death, and as you can tell by the title, we're finally inside the top 50k for the first time this season, and we've got the assistant manager chip on David Moyes to thank for that. We can't dwell on it too much though, as we've got another double gaming around the corner with a deadline tomorrow. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how I fit out in Double Gaming 24, and we're also going to look at my transfer plans and team selection ahead of Double Gaming 25. We've lots to discuss. Let's get into the video. So before we get into today's video, a quick reminder, as always, to give the video a like. Let's hit a like goal of 70 likes on this video. So head on down there, drop the video a like. And if you are watching and you're not subscribed, we're trying to get close to 10k subs before the end of the season. So head on down there, click subscribe, and in doing so, you'll be supporting the channel. So let's kick off the video as normal, looking back at the game week review. Double Gaming 24 was what's probably the longest game week of the season. It fairly dragged on, didn't it? But 135 points for the team. What a return. We've got Mo Salah, Chris Wood, Pickford in goals, and of course Moisey on the assistant manager chip to thank for that monster score. If you were going back to my deadline stream nearly 2 weeks ago, I was locked in on the triple captaincy on Mo Salah up until when we got the news that there was a guaranteed double in Gaming 25 for whichever team reached the EFL Cup final. So with that news, I decided to change my mind and then opt for the assistant manager chip, and with the fact that I already had 3 Liverpool players in my team, as I already moved for Gakpo before he rose in price a few times before the deadline, I then had to go for David Moyes, and thankfully opted for Moyes, paid off massively. The assistant manager chip started off to a flyer with Moyes' men thumping Leicester 4-0 at home for Moyes to come away with 12 points from the assistant manager chip in that game, and somehow Jordan Pickford even came away with an assist and a clean sheet to come away with 9 points from that game also. So some lovely returns from my Everton duo. Rewind then to last night's Merseyside derby. Wasn't looking great up until the 98th minute. Liverpool were leading, only for James Tarkowski to score a thumping volley in the last kick of the game, pretty much for Moyes' men to get a draw in that game. And more importantly, that Tarkowski goal was worth 9 points to my own team, and Moyes finished off the game week with 22 points from the assistant manager chip. Slot owners can feel rather unfortunate with that late equaliser, as it wiped out their win bonus, but also fortunate at the same time with the fact he picked up a red card after the final whistle, but he doesn't receive any minus points in FPL terms with that sending off. I'm not sure how I feel about that rule, but of course I'm going to say that as a Moyes owner. But if Slot was banned for the double game week this week in 25, it definitely would have caused carnage in the FPL community. We then move on to the star of the game week, Mo Salah, 3 goals and an assist over the double game week, a 29 point return, 58 points from the Airman, 87 points if you triple captain him in double game week 24. If you did, fair play to you. What a monster haul that is. And with the fact I changed my mind to go for the assistant manager chip, it shows how important that Tarkowski goal was last night. Just 7 points in the difference between Mo Salah's haul and David Moyes' haul from the assistant manager chip. As I said, 7 points, I can live with that, and I do have the triple captaincy to play later on the season. All in all, 135 points of the week was a monster score for the team, and I've now moved up to 50k overall. As I said though, we can't dwell on this too much. We've got another double game to plan for, so let's move on and have a look at my transfer plans ahead of tomorrow's deadline. Well, FPL is a cruel game, isn't it? After heroics in Double Gaming 24, it's already time to say good luck to David Moyes, and I'll be looking to use my free transfer on a manager move this week, taking out Moyes and bringing in Unai Emery with a double game week for Aston Villa this week. Looking at Aston Villa's double game week, they have 2 home fixtures. First off against Ipswich on Saturday, where you'd surely expect them to pick up a win in this game and get a few goals along the way. So that could be 8-9 points from Emery in this game, all things going well. And then looking at the second fixture of the double game week, they're at home to Liverpool on Wednesday night. And Liverpool, of course, are ranked first, and Aston Villa are ranked 8th in the league at the moment. So that qualifies Emery for the additional points for a win or a draw. So if Emery and Aston Villa could sneak a win or a draw in this game, we could be looking at potentially 20 plus points over the 2 fixtures, all going well. So with enough money in the bank to move for Moyes from Emery, I'm happy enough to lock in that transfer with that double gaming for Aston Villa, and especially with the potential chance of getting some additional points if Aston Villa do manage to sneak a win or a draw against Liverpool in the second game of the double game week. However, looking ahead to game week 26, Aston Villa are up against Chelsea in these round of fixtures, so it probably means I'm going to have to book in another manager transfer before the chip expires. That being said, Chelsea do have a few new injuries, with Nick Jackson now set to be sidelined for the next 2 months. So if I do get some additional injuries in double gaming 25 and I need to save the transfer or avoid taking the hit, I could maybe give Emery that Chelsea game before the chip expires. But looking at the first look at those round of fixtures, I'm probably leaning towards going and bringing in Thomas Frank with Brentford away to Leicester, where that should be a win for Brentford, and hopefully see a few goals in that game for the Bees. Anthony Gordon is a doubt for Newcastle's game against Man City this weekend, so if he is set to be sidelined, I could be forced into taking a hit this weekend, taking out Gordon and looking towards bringing in Morgan Rogers with that double game week for Aston Villa. Gordon was left out of Newcastle's FA Cup squad completely when they bet Birmingham 3-2 last weekend, so he has had a full rest. So to be honest, I do expect Gordon to be fine, but after the Man City game, Newcastle face Nottingham Forest and Liverpool, so it could be the right time to take out Gordon, especially with them blanking in game week 29 when they play that EFL Cup final against Liverpool. However, Morgan Rogers will also blank in game week 29, so it's probably a short-term gain bringing in Rogers for the double game week this week. Could look towards bringing in Mbeumo also, and with the fact that Mbeumo also plays in game week 29, that'll save me a transfer down the line. But for now, if it looks like Gordon is set to miss out in that City game, I'll be looking towards Morgan Rogers in the hopes of some returns over the double game week. So game week 25 sees the start of a very favourable fixture run for Bournemouth up until game week 31, especially this weekend. The face Southampton followed by Wolves in game week 26. Looking at the game this weekend, in the form that they're in, you'd surely expect a few goals from the Bournemouth attackers, and that raises the question then, if you're looking to bring in a Bournemouth attacker, which one should be looking at bringing into your team? So with Kluivert, Semenyo and Utara all priced under 6 million, they're very much affordable in the game, and with their nice fixture run, they also play in blank game of 29, so if you are looking to save your free hit and not play it in 29, bringing in one of these Bournemouth players will ensure you have an extra player in blank game of 29 and save you a transfer down the line. So we'll start off with my preferred pick and the one I already have in my team at the moment, Justin Kluivert. Just the fact, with FPL, we always try and optimise the potential chance of the points that we can score, and with the fact Kluivert is on penalties, that's why he's my preferred pick. If for whatever reason you can't afford Kluivert, there's nothing wrong with going for Utara, priced at 5.1 million, who's an out of position midfielder playing up front in this very attacking Bournemouth side. Looking at Semenyo, his security of minutes is definitely there with him playing 90 minutes over his last 7 games. However, he is playing out wide, and when you compare his positions to Kluivert and Utara and Kluivert are picking up more of the advanced central roles in that Bournemouth attack. With Semenyo out in the wing and playing in a deeper role compared to Utara and Kluivert, it definitely lessens the chance of a haul each week. That's why I put Semenyo bottom on this list, but if you are looking just for one Bournemouth attacker, I'd go for Kluivert, get him in, he is on penalties, and fingers crossed we can get a nice haul against Southampton in game of 25 and some good returns over the next couple of weeks. So looking at my potential lineup for double game of 25, we're going to start off with Unai Emery. We've brought him in for David Moyes on the assistant manager chip. Hopefully it's a good evening from the Villa man and a good return on the assistant manager chip. You'd surely expect a win for Villa in that Ipswich game on Saturday, and if they could get a draw or even a win against Liverpool in the second fixture of the double game week, that should surely be 20 plus points from the Villa man. Moving on to the starting 11 then, Jordan Pickford is just off the back of a double-digit return in double game week 24, but with that Crystal Palace game, especially with it being away from home, I'm not expecting a clean sheet from the England number 1. But who knows though, with that draw last night in the Merseyside derby, they could bring that form into that Crystal Palace game at the weekend, so let's see how that fares out. On to the back three then, Arsenal just have 1 clean sheet in their last 5 games, but they're away to Leicester in game week 25 this weekend. In Saturday's game, you'd surely expect Arsenal to get a clean sheet there. Gabriel has been quiet on the attacking front as of late, so let's see if he can get one at the weekend. Fulham are at home, but I'm not expecting a clean sheet against an informed Nottingham Forest side who thumped Brighton in game week 24. It was definitely a mistake to leave Robinson on the bench last week, where he picked up another assist, a remarkable 10 assists so far this season for the Fulham left back. As I said, not expecting a clean sheet, but let's see if he can come away with another attacking return. Trent Alexander-Arnold managed to play 30 minutes in the Merseyside derby last night, so I am expecting him to be okay for the Wolves game, so that's why he's in the team. I'm not looking to transfer him out. Let's see if Slot said anything after the game on Trent, but I am expecting him to start that game, and that's why he's in the starting 11. After his 29-point haul last week, of course it's Mo Salah that gets the armband with another double game for Liverpool this week. Wolves at home and Aston Villa away. I'm expecting at least 2 returns from Mo Salah over these 2 games, so that should see another double-digit return from the Egyptian King. With the injury to Nick Jackson, Chelsea will be looking towards Cole Palmer to be their main man once again for returns, and I'm expecting another return for Cole Palmer like he did against Brighton in the Cup in this same fixture last week. We've already spoken about Kluivert. He was unlucky not to get a return against Liverpool in game week 24. Let's see how he gets on against Southampton, and fingers crossed for a big return here. Anthony Gordon stays in the team for now. I'll be waiting until Howe's press conference on Friday to see if we get any updates on Gordon's fitness. As I said earlier on in the video, if it looks like Gordon is going to be sidelined for that City game, I'll be taking a hit and bringing in Morgan Rogers for the double game week this week. Cody Gakpo, Alexander Isak and Chris Wood complete my starting 11, and starting off with Gakpo, he only managed a disappointing 7 points over the double game week last week. He only played 68 minutes in the Merseyside derby last week, so he should be fine to start the Wolves game on Sunday. Alexander Isak managed a blank against Fulham in game week 24, but with the form Man City run at the moment, and after them shipping 3 goals at home to Madrid during the week, I'm expecting Isak to be back amongst the returns. And looking at Chris Wood, finishing off the starting 11, a hat-trick against Brighton in game week 24. He's up against a Fulham side in game week 25. Wood and Robinson in that same game. To be honest, it's better for my own team if Robinson gets a clean sheet, so I'll be hoping Robinson can get a clean sheet there, and if not, an attack in return. If you've made it to the end of this video, please give it a like, drop a comment below, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let's hit a like goal of 70 likes on this video, so head on down there, drop the video a like, and if you are watching this and you're not subscribed, we're trying to hit 10k subs before the end of the season, so if you are watching this video and you're not subscribed, head on down there, click subscribe on the channel, and you'll be supporting the page. I'll see you all on Friday evening for a Game Week 25 deadline stream, so fingers crossed you can join me, and I'll see you all then. Thanks for watching, best of luck for the week, I'll see you in the next video.